Hello, this is Joshua Evans, and this is my demonstration video of the forensic software Forensically Beta. It is an image and graphics analysis software. It is web based. You can get it by going to the web address here at the top. Now, the image here that you see is actually the stock image that comes with the software. It has the ability to use various tools that are over here on the side to has aspects for each of those can be done. Now I'm only going to be touching into some of these because of time constraint. Now the first one we're going to look at is the magnifier. This is basically a magnifying glass. Wherever your mouse is, it shows us a block where that is in a more zoomed up detail from all the way from 2 to 8. This tool is also used in conjunction with a couple other tools that we're going to look at in a few minutes. Now, the first main tool that I'm going to look at is clone detection. Now, this basically using similarity, detail, cluster size, and block size checks the photo here for any similarities between a group of pixels or blocks of the image with others. Now, at the moment, this says none are done. None have been detected because I have the minimum set to 0.01. If I bump this up to about a 0.2526, give it a few moments to analyze the photo. It will, here we go. It shows that it draws a line between the group to group of pixels, showing which ones are similar. Now, as you can see, these clouds over here on the left side are similar to these over here on the right. Is showing that there's a similarity between them. And that's true because this over here on the right, or on the left, sorry, is the original clouds. Now, they were used in some form of a clone tool, were copied over here onto the right, and it's picking up on that detail. Now, other photos, which I have a duck one, I'm going to bring in real quick. It's analyzing the photo. Okay, it's taking a little bit longer than I thought. It's showing very minor amounts of similarities. And that's mainly because this background is very fuzzy. Now, if you have a fuzzy background like this, you may want to drop the similarity down just a touch, allow it to analyze, and a lot more shows up. Now, you see most of these are all kind of are similar to each other, but they all kind of cluster down here in this little section. And that is because this photo was modified to this duck was originally here. I cut it out, moved it over here, and copied a lot of this out here over here to patch up the little spot that it was missing. That's why they're all kind of clustered there. All right, so let's refresh this and go back to the original image. Okay. As you saw some color, but now we're going to the error level analysis. The error level analysis is basically it checks for different pixels in the photo and checks highlights variations. And now if we get to the JPEG quality here and we just bump it down just one, you notice that the UFO and the paraglider they're a lot brighter than the rest of the photo. That is because it's stating that there's been manipulation or there's been it's not of the original photo. If we bump it down, say about way too much, about 10 points, you start to see down here this the color changes under the UFO. And then you notice that over here in these clouds, they start to lighten up. Because remember, these are the clouds that we used to clone. So they were originally manipulated over there. Paraglider, while it is different color, it's kind of a lighter shade of what the rest of the picture is, which indicates that the color may be that the paraglider may have been originally with this photo, it just might have been manipulated in some way, shape, or form. All right, let's go to noise level. Noise analysis. Noise analysis is basically checks the noise in the background using an algorithm. Now, as you can see, the paraglider's different. The UFO is a extremely different color. But if you zoom in, you kind of notice all these various colors right here in the zoomed in are very similar to the paraglider. That's unique. I can't. That's unique. Very unique. So, you can bump up the noise amplitude, which kind of really details kind of okay. Here we go. This is what I was trying to say. You notice right here around the UFO, it kind of blocks out like it's been copied and pasted. Kind of like over here on the paraglider. That square, that paraglider is now just a big square. You can see variously around here. It kind of like the pixels of this are different from the ones that are in the background of this photo. Okay, let's go down to the one very useful tool is the metadata. This basically tells you that just a bunch of data about the actual photo. One very key part is software. Now, this tells you what software was used to edit the picture. At this point, it was Darktable version 1.6.6. If we go to the duck photo that I had, you see I edited in Adobe Photoshop. Now, let's go back to the original photo. Here we go. It tells you the date the original photo was done. Tells you the modified date, which this one was done back in 2015, and this is when the software was originally created. You keep going down, and here's another really key strong point about this image is here. The thumbnail. The thumbnail shows that the image, it's kind of a snapshot of the photo when it was originally created. Now, as you can tell, the paraglider's over here now on the left instead of over here on the right, and there's no UFO. So that's actually a good thing because we can actually go down to this tool, thumbnail analysis, and look at the photo. And see, the occupancy is over here to 1. If we bump this down, let's go to about 0.5. It shows that the image itself compared to the thumbnail. Now, if you notice, there's a UFO here and there's a paraglider over here. If we go down to where we get rid of the thumbnail and show just the actual image itself, you notice that the points are. And if you press the show differences, it shows a lot. It shows a color variation in order to. It shows the difference between the thumbnail and the original the original picture, or the thumbnail of the original picture and the modified picture itself. Now, if we bump this all the way back up to 0.1, it really shows the difference between this UFO and the shadow from, remember, the earlier error level analysis, and the paraglider over here on the left compared to the paraglider on the right. Now, this could have been turned by various software, or this can be a completely different paraglider. But using these various things, these various tools in this software, it gives you a basic understanding of how to check the photos for various manipulations. We go back to the magnifier.